Welcome back, guys. In the last episode we looked at the iTechworld 120X Pro and the iTechworld 160X Pro batteries. Being a small form factor, same as a sort of an N70, we were able to put them in a battery box, and that's what we're going to go through now, the iTechworld GoFurther Battery Box. First thing is, it has an integrated DC to DC charger on top. This takes voltage from your car's alternator and step charges the battery up until it's full. There are a few settings on the back that you will need to adjust for the style of battery or the type of battery you've got, anything from standard, lead calcium, AGM, and in this case a lithium battery which we've got inside. Now let's look at the front and see what we've got here. The first thing is we have got an on-off switch, and it literally is an off switch. It comes off. The purpose of this is to isolate the battery, which means that it can't be turned on. You're not going to have anything drawing down on the battery, and it stops kids flicking around with the switch and turning things on that they shouldn't. But putting it back on, turn it to the off position, it locks the switch back on, and then we turn it on, which lights up the BM500. That's the battery monitor 500. Now there is an additional video on the YouTube channel on iTechworld that will show you how to set this up for your individual needs. We have the two outlets. These are 12 volt outlets, normal sort of cigarette style outlets. We have 3 USB-A 3s. They will charge probably up to about 4.5 watts each, and then we have a USB-C at 30 watts. Now that will charge a laptop up, but it will be slower than say a 100 watt charger that you would plug into the wall. Okay. Moving on to the Anderson outlets on the back. So let's turn this around. What do we have here? We have 4 50 amp in and out power Andersons, if you like. This will take up to 50 amps in each circuit. We also have a solar input, and we have the alternator input. Now this also comes with a loom. So this is your alternator loom. It's factory set up. It's minimal wiring we have to do, so we've got the positive and negative on the battery. You also have an ignition wire there if you've got a smart alternator to allow it to charge back into the battery box. So that's the outlets on one side. So any of these can go to fridges or anything else that you want to run that's 12 volt, pulling up to maybe 50 amps of power. All right, let's swing this thing around. Now, on the other side, we have 175 amp hour total discharge Anderson on the back there. Where would we use that? Well, this is where we could wire in an inverter, and with this battery in here being the 160 with a 150 amp hour continuous download, that means that we could effectively run a 2000 watt inverter on that. Bearing in mind that if you do plug into here, you will need a fuse in line that's capable of running that inverter. But this now opens us up to the fact that we could have an inverter in the car and plug in maybe a small induction cooktop or a coffee machine. So, you know, things like this that we can run to 240 volts as well, or any other chargers that you might find that want to draw a little bit more. Now, one thing I didn't say earlier is, you know, what happens when we take it out of the vehicle, we want to charge it up. Could we charge it up in the workshop? Have we got 240 volts that we could charge back in? Well, let's take a look. With these 4 50 watt Anderson outlets on the back, they're also an inlet directly to the battery. So this means that we could use a AC charger and plug into with an Anderson plug to charge our battery whilst it's not in the vehicle. So just bear that there is an option there to charge it from 240 volt by using direct input into the battery, bypassing the DC to DC charger. So this is the iTechworld GoFurther Battery Box, a great cost-effective option if you want to put a dual battery system in your four-wheel drive, or you simply want a power pack to carry around. If you have any technical questions, feel free to comment below, and we'll catch you next time.